In this video, we are diving into the world of Azure with a hands-on tutorial. You will learn how to create a public IP, network security group, network interface, and Windows virtual machine in Microsoft Azure using PowerShell step by step. These are the some list of key steps that we are going to follow. First, create a resource group, create a network security group, create a public IP address, create a network interface, create the virtual machine, and lastly, we will verify the VM creation is successful or not. By end of this video, you will have the knowledge to create a virtual machine and require resources in Azure using PowerShell. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now let's get started. First, let's briefly discuss what an Azure virtual machine is. An Azure virtual machine is an on-demand scalable computing resource offered by Microsoft Azure. VMs are typically used when you need more control over your computing environment than what is offered by other Azure services like app services. Before we dive into the script, make sure you have the following prerequisites already: Azure Virtual Machine, Azure PowerShell module installed, an active Azure subscription, and logged in your Azure account via PowerShell. The first command that we are going to use, that is connect to Azure account. This command will prompt you to log in using your Azure credentials. Once logged in, you can start managing your Azure resources through the PowerShell. Now let's understand our PowerShell script step by step. We will start by defining some variables. Here are the variables that will store the name and setting for our VM related resources. The first variable that we are going to provide, that is resource group name. We are going to use this kjx-0-mgt-rg. The location that we are going to use is h2s2. The vnet name and subnet. The vnet and subnet we already created in previous video, so you can click on this I button somewhere here, and you will be able to know how can we create a subnet and vnet using PowerShell command. So we are going to using the same vnet and subnet here to deploy this machine. Now the next one is NSG name, that we are going to use a kjx-0-mgt nsg for this one. VM name we are going to use is kjx0mgtdc001 VM, and the public IP, here I am going to concatenate the VM name with the -pip. So what it will do, it will use the VM name what we provided here and add hyphen and pip in the end of the name. So by that way, we will get to know where we are using this public IP if we have multiple public IPs in our subscription. So that is the easy way that we can use to get to know where we are using this public IP easily. And the VM size that we are going to use is standard B2MS as of now. This is the image publisher offer an SKU. The image publisher we are going to use is Microsoft Windows Server. The offer we are going to use is Windows Server, and the SKU 2019 data center. The admin username, that Azure user, and the admin password that we are going to use is p@ssw0rd exclamation mark. So this is not good practice to keep the password in the script, but this is for the demo purpose. That's why I'm just keeping the password as a plain text. Otherwise, you can use keyword services from the Azure to grab the password. So that we will learn in the next video or in a future videos. So these are the variables that we are going to use to our script. Let me move further with the resource group creation part. So this section we are going to use to deploy a new resource group here. So for first line number 21, it will check whether this resource group is already there or not. If the resource group is already there, then it will skip that it will skip the creation of the new resource group, and it will continue with the next step. But if it will not find any resource group is already there with the same name, then it will create a resource group with the new -az resource group command. And then these are the required parameters that we need to provide: the resource group name and the location where we need to deploy the resource group. These are the line number 25. This is the condition. If you want to check briefly what these are, then you can again click on this I button, and then you will get to know how can we create the resource group in brief discussion that I already created a video. Next one is create a network security group. So here we are going to create a network security group. I am using this right host before each step. So by that way, we will get to know at which step we are right now. When we run the script, at that point we will get to know like at which step we are. So this NSG on line number 37, we are using a new hyphen as in network security group command to create a network security group. Mandatory parameters that we are going to use is resource group name, location, and the name of NSG. These are the required parameters. Move forward with the create the public IP address. We are going to use new -s public IP address command, and these are the parameters that we need to use: the resource group name, location, public IP name, and the allocation method that we are going to use is static for the public IP address. Let's move forward with the network security. Network virtual network and subnet. So as you can see here, we are gathering the property of virtual network by using this get -az network virtual network hyphen name of the virtual network. So by that way, we will grab the existing property of a VNet, and from the VNet, we are going to grab subnet property. And this subnet variable, we will use in when we create the network interface card here. On line number 47, I'm checking that VM is already there or not. So by get -az VM and providing the VM name, it will check the VM with the name is exist or not. If it not exists, then it will execute this command starting from line number 50. Here I'm concatenating again the nickname with the VM name and nick. So by that way, we will get to know that this nick is belongs to that virtual machine, and it will check the network interface card is already there or not. If it is already there, then it will convert this variable into this variable, the nick variable. If it is not there, then it will use this new -az network interface, resource group name, location, name of network interface card, subnet ID. So as you can see here, we are using this subnet dot ID here. So that is the required field. By that way, we are providing the details to network interface card, where it should belongs to, on which VNet and subnet it should belongs to, and the public IP that we already created in a previous step. We are using that variable and the ID, so that will attach that public IP with this network interface card. Let's move forward with the creating of virtual machine here. As you can see, a new -az VM config. By using that command, we can provide the virtual machine name, what it should be, and the virtual machine size. In the next step, we need to set -az VM operating system. So by that way, we can provide the details which the virtual machine should belong to Linux, Windows, or which OS it should be. So we are using this Windows parameter here, and the computer name at the OS level, that will be the computer name, the same as we are going to use VM name. And the credential, we are providing this credential here using that variables. On our next line, as you can see, we are setting up the az set -az VMOS disk that we need to use. So the name of disk will be the same as we followed. It is concatenating the VM name with the OS disk, and the disk type will be Windows, creation option from image, and it will, by selecting this, it will delete the disk when we delete the machine. And the storage account type, we are going to use standard LRS, that standard HDD. You can change based on your requirement. If you want to use, you just need to you if you want to use a premium one, then you just need to change it from premium LRS. Now let's move forward on this line number 64, add -az VM network interface. We are adding network interface, providing the network interface ID using this variable, and we are setting the boot diagnostic as enabled. And on the next step, we are setting that set as EVM source image. So which image we need to use, like publisher, SKU, and offer, that we need to use. By that way, we can provide the details, like if you want to deploy a 2019 data center, if you want to deploy a 2022 data center server image, if you want to use a Linux, if you want to use Windows 10 image, then you just need to provide the right publisher, SKU, and offer. By that way, it will grab the image from the marketplace and deploy the machine based on your requirement. And the last, we are using this new -az VM, the resource group name, where it should be, deploy the location, and the VM configuration. So as you can see, we are using this VM config variable here. So each and every config, dumping that properties into this variable. So this variable is collecting all the configuration from each command, and it will use to deploy the machine. So once we will run this new -azvm, it will execute, and once it will get completed, we will get the message that VM is created successfully. Lastly, we are going to check the current status of the VM. So for that purpose, we are going to use get-azvm. Lastly, we are going to use get-azvm to collect the VM status. And on line number 74, we are going to use if condition with the VM variable. By that way, it will provide the VM power state property, and it is checking it should be is equal to VM space running state. So if we'll find this condition is true, then it will type this right host virtual machine created successfully, and otherwise it will uh, type that failed to create a virtual machine. So we are done with our scripting part. Let me run the script. So by that way, you will get to know which steps it will follow. Let me run. The resource group has been created. Now it is creating the security group. Security group has been created. Now it is going to create a public IP address. Now it is creating the network interface card. The public IP address has been created successfully. Now it started to create virtual machine. So it will take time, create a machine. It will take 1 or 2 minutes to complete the process. So we need to wait for that. As you can see here, the VM has been created successfully, and it also validated that VM is running. So that's it for now.